Um, so I'll start with a quote. If you want me to give you a 2-hour presentation, I'm ready today. If you want only a 5-minute speech, it will take me 2 weeks to prepare. This was by Mark Twain. Obviously, didn't have Mark in there with a clock counting down when he thought about that. Yeah. Okay, I'll do my best to keep in time. So, my research is in corporate governance, and more specifically, I'm looking at board of directors. The literature within the board of directors asks how to structure a good board of directors. And most of the literature looks at very high level measures, like size of the board of directors, who should be the chair, and some mix between independent and insider directors. Now, the mix between independent and insider directors is more related to what I do and related to the question, who should serve on the board? But the independent measure is pretty aggregate. It basically means that if you are related to the company only through your directorship, then you are considered independent. So if all of us were serving on the board of Google, then we would all be considered independent. And then we will be aggregated together, and people would try to say, okay, is it related to the performance of the company? But this measure misses a lot because obviously we all bring different things to the table, right? So we have those marketing experts here, we have IT experts, we have international experts, people that specialize in specific countries, supply chain management expert, finance, and so forth and so on. So coming from accounting, my focus was on a specific type of expertise, and I'm focused on accounting expertise. And I'm also focusing on a specific committee within this board of directors, specifically the audit committee. The audit committee is the committee that is in charge of making sure that the financial reports that we issue are correctly stated. And this research is motivated by a requirement by the SEC saying that in those committees you have to have at least one financial expert, somebody that actually know those numbers and can actually monitor this process. So initially, when the SEC thought about this, they said these financial experts need to be somebody that is an accountant, somebody that was an auditor or CFO that really knows this stuff, saying that it will be very hard for this company to actually recruit these people to their board of directors. So the SEC came in and said, okay, maybe we can also consider CEOs and board chairs, those that supervise the financial reporting process. Or even consider people that actually use the financial reports as venture capitalists and financial analysts. So a bunch of accounting professors said, really? Are they really equal? Can they really do the job similarly? And not surprising, the accounting professors found that no, and the accounting background is important. Okay, so they found that in order to monitor the financial reporting process, you really need to have this accounting knowledge. And I have 2 papers relating to that, and I also find similar result with specific metrics for financial reporting quality. So now this is well known, okay, and this is pretty trivial. You need to know accounting in order to monitor accounting process. So the question, what else? What else is needed on these audit committees in order to improve the financial reporting process? And this question is less trivial. There is no guidance out there. And in the forthcoming paper, what we thought about was that industry knowledge is also very valuable. And why is that? Industry knowledge is valuable in the accounting context because often these accounting guidance are tailored into a specific industry. So a revenue recognition is different in the retail industry compared to the high-tech industry. So knowing these little nuances and little differences may have an effect. So the research questions, so now we formulated those research questions and asked whether the combination of people that know accounting and also know the industry, are they better than those that just know accounting? And then we also extended those and looked at the supervisors, those CEO types, these board chair types, that were shown to be inefficient in monitoring the process. But we asked, maybe if they have this industry knowledge, maybe they can also help. And our findings suggest that, yes, well, if you have both accounting and industry knowledge, then you are better than just those that have only accounting. And we also find some evidence that even if you don't have this accounting background, you're a CEO or board chair or other type of executive, but you know the industry, you know how the industry operates, then you can also add value to monitoring the financial reporting process. So the overall arching conclusion is that accounting background on the audit committee matters, and it's important. And the SEC shouldn't have caved in, and they should have insisted that this is the background that they should have. And the new finding is that also industry knowledge matters, and it also matters for this supervisory type that were shown not to matter in other studies. So the practical implication is basically guidance to board who they should appoint to these audit committees. They should appoint those accounting experts, and if they can, they should appoint somebody that also know the industry. And policy implications is maybe regulators should enforce a more restrictive rule saying that they need to actually have this accounting background and maybe even consider industry experience. So in corporate governance, we're always careful in saying that one size fits all, because it doesn't, okay? And this is just an encouragement of companies to improve their board, and clearly companies should do what specifically fits them. So I'm on time.